Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I'm going to talk to Michael Townsend. He's with a company called Earthshine Solutions, and it's an innovative company. We're talking about here on today's program about the benefits of sustainable business. And how are you today? Good to have you on.
I'm very well, thanks, Kevin. It's a pleasure to be with you and your audience. Yeah,
and you have written a book on this timely topic. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, sure. We've been doing a lot of work around a journey in search of capitalism 2.0. Since the financial crisis, we'd found it increasingly difficult to get businesses to think long-term and look ahead to the changes that they'd need to make in order to make the transition towards a more sustainable way of being. Financial crisis seemed to really kind of knock that on the head, and most companies became quite entrenched and short-term, as you might understand. But we felt there were still big issues that weren't being addressed, and we could see that in our conversations with business leaders internationally, that there are so many things that they would like to do to become more sustainable, but they felt that the needs of investors, the markets, and so on were driving short-term behaviors, and they couldn't really see a way forward. So we could see that it was the system that was perhaps the next thing that we needed to start thinking about fixing. So we started doing some work around capitalism 2.0 and looking at some of the changes that were needed, and we started getting the attention of some of the big business leaders around the world, like Paul Polman from Unilever, and we put forward an agenda for change.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a lot of questions in only a short period of time, so forgive me. But that's a very good understanding and background on it. When was the book formally released? I know it was sometime in July.
Yeah, the book is out now, I think, in the US, and it's been out in Europe just a short while longer. The book is entitled Reframing the Game, and it's an edited collection that brings together some focus around some of the points for change. And we've got contributions from business and from academia. We felt it was quite important that if we're going to make the shift in the way that business and economy works, then we need to start reframing what we're teaching. So we need to bring together business people and academics to kind of reframe the game, if you like. So we've got Paul Polman in there who's written an inspirational piece around, this is a really important time for business, especially with leading up to COP21 in Paris around climate change, and how business can kind of find purpose in solving societal problems as well as making a profit. We've got Gabby Zedelmayer, the Chief Progress Officer from Hewlett-Packard, talking about how they've managed to integrate purpose into the heart of their business strategy and some of the benefits that they're able to deliver. And then some of the academics who are kind of taking on some of the challenges, like, well, what's the purpose of our economy?
Yeah.
What are the goals for our economy? Is it just about GDP and growth, or should we be bringing other indicators? And Isabel Sebastian's done a great piece on looking at reframing this in terms of well-being economics and a range of different indicators that would probably provide politicians with a much better set of holistic goals, if you like, for reframing economic success, which would actually deliver a greater quality of life and a better environment, as well as jobs, as well as growth within planetary limits.
Yeah. Mike, again, I apologize with how short time frame we have to work with and lots of questions. Talk a little bit about what you do industry-wise.
Well, we're a business consultancy that just happens to have been integrating sustainability principles into the heart of what we do since 2006. So it's nearly 10 years now. And we focus on three levels of transformation. We look at business transformation and how business models and business strategies can integrate sustainability so that companies can carry on for longer, be more productive and profitable, and sustainable in terms of their environmental and social impacts. So that's the main focus. But to achieve that, we're also interested in business leadership transformation, so helping business leaders to develop a more holistic and mindful approaches. And, of course, we're engaged in systemic change, recognizing that we need to reframe the game and change the rules that we're all playing to enable businesses and their business leaders to make that jump.
So, how big of a footprint does your company have in the United States? Are you primarily in Europe? I know that's where you're corporately located.
Yeah, we do projects in UK, in Europe. We do a lot of work in the sort of Nordic countries at the moment because it's a very progressive place. They kind of just get the sustainability agenda and they're getting on with it. And we do some work in North America as well, in Canada and in the US. Our agenda is needed everywhere, and we just do it in a business-focused way.
Yeah, very, very good, very interesting. So talk a little bit about, what your objectives. Obviously, educating people was one of your objectives in writing the book, but I'm sure it also helped position you and your company as thought leaders in this area.
Absolutely. We can see that there's a real need to shift the mainstream conversation. At the moment, we see kind of two different worlds, if you like. There's all the sustainability people who, by and large, are having a great conversation between themselves, but they're not making much impact into the mainstream. It's largely ignored. And on the other side, you've got the kind of mainstream economists and the mainstream business people who are just trying to find different ways to keep this thing all going and not really learning from the sustainability agenda. So we want to bring these two worlds together. That's a big part of what we're doing. So yes, it's about awareness raising. Yes, it's about thought leadership, and it's also about sort of creating that mainstream dialogue that brings these two worlds together.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out today, telling us your story and your company story, and more importantly, the book story. How do we get more information about the book?
You can get the book from Greenleaf Publishing. You can get it online. So if you go to the Greenleaf Publishing website, we've also got a few summary articles published on Huffington Post to give people a good flavor. So there's a piece that I've written there about from the sparks of hope, and Gabby Zettelmeyer's piece is summarized there, as is Paul Polman, so people can go online on the Huffington Post, have a quick read. If they like it, they can click through to the Greenleaf site and see a bit more information. We've got some great reviews on there as well.
Yep.
So it should be fairly widely available and hopefully a good read.
Yeah, if you put in Building Sustainable Legacies into your Google search engine, it should show up very prominently. Building Sustainable Legacies. Mike, I appreciate it very much. Mike Townsend, thanks for your time.
You're most welcome, and I hope we get a chance to share more with you as we move beyond the written word. We're also getting engaged in some regional economic activism to take this into delivering some change projects.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that, and sorry about time. Time's always an issue in radio.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, thanks. When we come back, more for you right here on The Price of Business.